Hi everyone, today I'm going to be ranking my Kaleidos palettes. Kaleidos is an indie brand based out of Shanghai, China, and they have a lot of different products, but the main thing I'm going to be focusing on today is their eyeshadow. That's the only product I've tried from this brand. I do have 5 palettes that I'm going to be ranking today. Kaleidos is one of my absolute favorite brands for eyeshadows. They just make some of the best colorful, shimmery, sparkly, just some of my favorite eyeshadow that I own. So today I wanted to share my ranking of my palettes. I do have 2 of their larger eyeshadow palettes and then 3 of their 6-pan Futurism eyeshadow palettes. I will have Kaleidos as well as each of these palettes linked down below. There is one that is not available anymore as it was a limited edition, but I will talk more about that when I get to that palette. Honestly, I recommend anything eyeshadow wise from Kaleidos. Everything I've tried has been absolutely amazing. This ranking is really just based off of the color story and what I have used the most and just sort of, I guess, what I prefer. So everything is amazing, the quality is amazing, and if you are interested in anything from Kaleidos, I highly suggest it because everything is really good. So that being said, let's go ahead and go with number 5. So I'm going to be starting from my least favorite and going to my favorite eyeshadow. So in 5th place, I have the 6-pan of the Futurism Lunar Lavender palette. So it looks like this. All of their Futurism palettes, they sort of open up like an envelope, and I'm just gonna block the mirror, and they look like this. So this is the purple one. There are 2 purple matte shades and then 2 sparkly. There's one that leans a little bit more on the pink side and one that leans a little bit more on the blue side, but this is overall a very purple palette. This is absolutely just stunning, and if you like purple, you will love this one. The packaging on the outside is also amazing. Just everything about Kaleidos I just love so much. So I definitely like this palette a lot. The only reason why it's ranking my least favorite is because of purple eyeshadow. I have more that I like in my top 2 palettes, but this one still is really nice, especially if you love purple, because it's kind of like an all purple palette. In 5th place is the Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise, and the packaging of this one is really cool. It's all blue and orange, and then when you open this one up, you get some blues and a bright orange in the middle, and this one is so stunning. The shimmer shades in this one are incredible. You have a silver and then like a nice turquoise blue, but both of them have a gold shift to them. The silver color is so unique and one of my favorite eyeshadows because it's a silver, but it's like warm tone gold leaning silver. It's just, I don't know, I really like that shade. And then I love the orange in the middle. I love orange eyeshadow, so this is just a palette that every time I use it, I think it looks amazing. So I don't use it too often, but when I do, I always love how it looks. So this is number 4. Number 3 is the last 6-pan I have from them, and it is Futurism 7 Sashimi City, and the packaging is like a little city. It's really cute. And then when you open it up, this is definitely the most neutral one that I have from Kaleidos. This looks like a neutral palette, but it's definitely neutral, but like more special, if that makes sense. You have 4 really nice matte shades. The 2 browns are pretty similar. One is maybe a little bit warmer and a little bit deeper, but the lighter shades are really nice all over the lid underneath the shimmers. They make the shimmers just pop even more. But the 2 shimmery shades are absolutely gorgeous, and they are both duochromes. This pink one down here, it's pink to gold duochrome, and it looks super pretty all over the lid. And then this lighter shade, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just such a beautiful like champagne-y gold color. I absolutely love this, and I definitely have worn this to work a few times. It's like pushing not being neutral, but it's like just neutral enough that I feel like I can get away with wearing it at work. Alright, so that was number 3. Moving on to number 2. My second favorite palette is actually the Club Nebula palette. This was in collaboration with Angelica Nyquist. I will have her channel linked down below. She's amazing. And this palette is absolutely stunning. You can see. This palette, when it came out, I was already a fan of Kaleidos, so I really did not want to buy more makeup at that time, but I saw this and knew that I had to get it, so I ended up purchasing it, and this is what the inside looks like. It is absolutely stunning. The shimmers in this are so amazing. The mattes are amazing as well, but just looking at the shimmery shades, like, those are just what I love so much about Kaleidos. The mattes are also really amazing in this palette. They're just a little bit intimidating because they are so dark. I don't tend to use really dark colorful eyeshadow. If I do colorful full eyeshadow, it's usually more on the lighter side, so this one is a little bit intimidating, and I definitely found myself avoiding it a little bit, but I have, as it's gotten more into like fall, I definitely have been reaching into this a lot. And I really love mixing and matching all of my Kaleidos palettes, because some of the shades between this and my number 1, and then also all of the Futurism 6-pan palettes, I love using a mix of all the Kaleidos palettes. So that was number 2, which means that my number 1 is the Escape Pod palette. This was the first palette I ever bought from Kaleidos, and it is just so amazing. This is one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection. It opens like this, and it is just such a fun, colorful, bright, shimmery, just amazing color story. If you really wanted the Club Nebula palette and you weren't able to pick it up before it went out of stock, because this one was limited edition, and you still want to try Kaleidos, I highly recommend this palette. I know the color stories aren't the same, but I highly recommend it. Or if the Club Nebula was your first encounter with Kaleidos, I highly recommend getting this palette. It is so amazing. It is, like I said, one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection. The shimmers are absolutely stunning. I love these orangey, the pink, the purples in this shade, the 2 matte purples and the 2 shimmery purples. In my opinion, I like them better than the Lunar Lavender, which is why that one ranks last, because if I want to do purple, I'm more likely to go to this palette. I just love this. Purple is just one of the most special shades in my entire collection, but all of these shades are absolutely incredible. Even the brown and this taupe and this like cream shade, they're just so amazing. I love this palette to pieces. I've done so many looks with this palette, and I just highly recommend it. It's my number 1 palette, so that is the ranking. So like I said, I really do recommend any palette from Kaleidos, even ones that I haven't listed here. I know that there's a few palettes that I don't own from them that I have heard nothing but good things from the people that do have them. If any of these, you know, speak to you and you really like the color story, I just cannot recommend Kaleidos as a brand more. I absolutely love them. They do ship from China, so if you live in the US, it does take about 2 to 3 weeks to ship, but it is totally worth it. And like I said, I love to mix and match these colors and just create all sorts of bright, colorful looks. It's so fun, and these have really just made my love for eyeshadow and my love for colorful eyeshadow just so easy to create fun and interesting looks. So I absolutely love Kaleidos, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it inspires you to try Kaleidos if you've been wanting to. If you own any eyeshadow from Kaleidos, or if you're interested in any, definitely leave me a comment below of which one is your favorite, or if you have multiple, please leave me your ranking down below. Thank you for watching.